1 month after my daughter's wedding, the photographer called me and whispered, "Sir, I noticed something terrible in the photos. Come immediately alone and don't say anything to your daughter." Asterisk. Her words hit me just as I sat down with a fresh cup of coffee. Tuesday morning sunlight poured across my office desk, glinting off the financial reports I'd been reviewing. A quiet house. A quiet life. After 40 years building Reynolds Hardware into 3 thriving Phoenix locations, I had earned moments like this. Peace felt normal. Asterisk, the phone number was unfamiliar. I'd nearly ignored it. But when I answered and heard the trembling voice introduce herself as Caroline Thornan, as a wedding photographer, something in the air around me changed in. Tight, uneasy. Asterisk, Mr. Reynolds. I need to see you. Alone. Please. Do not tell Jacqueline. My grip tightened around the phone. What's happened? I asked, the question barely escaping my throat. Asterisk, I can't explain over the phone. But I found something in the photographs. Something serious. Please, tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock. My studio downtown. Before I could respond, Wendy's voice erupted from the kitchen, shrill as ever. Dad, I told you I need a new car. My Honda is embarrassing. Did you ask for the money yet? Asterisk, Benjamin laughed from the living room. A lazy, entitled laugh. The kind that came easily to a man who had never held a real job. Asterisk, I'll be there. I muttered into the phone, barely aware of my own words. Caroline exhaled shakily. Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. And, I'm sorry. Asterisk, when the call ended, I sat frozen, staring at the framed wedding photo on my wall, Jacqueline glowing in her designer gown. Samuel beside her, looking polished and perfect. The day had cost me $65,000. It felt worth every cent to see my eldest daughter radiant with happiness. Asterisk, what could possibly be very serious about those photographs? Wendy barged into my office doorway, phone in hand, an attitude in full display. Dad, are you even listening? Melissa bought a Lexus. A Lexus. And I'm still driving a 7-year-old trash can. Asterisk later. Wendy, I said quietly. Asterisk, she stomped off, slamming her bedroom door upstairs. Benjamin's TV show blared in the background. My once quiet house felt smaller, heavier, suffocating. Asterisk, through the window. The July sky stretched bright and cloudless, but something in my gut churned. I tried returning to my reports, but numbers swam across the screen uselessly. My mind locked onto Caroline's quivering voice. Asterisk, the wedding had seemed flawless, perfect venue, perfect vows, perfect smiles. Jacqueline had insisted on every luxury. Samuel had played the gentleman flawlessly. Asterisk, so why did I suddenly feel like a crack had opened beneath my feet? Asterisk, around noon, Benjamin wandered into my office, leaning against my doorframe like he owned the place. Asterisk, Pops, Wynn says you're being weird about the car. Just give her the cash, man. Keep the peace. I didn't look up, I said later, shrugged. Happy wife, happy life. You know how it is. Asterisk, wife. He wasn't even married to my daughter. For years of freeloading, and he still had opinions. Asterisk, the afternoon dragged. Evening came with more noise, Wendy's shrill laughter upstairs, Benjamin's beer bottles clinking, my own thoughts spiraling. Asterisk, by 7:30. The doorbell rang. Asterisk, Jacqueline stepped inside. Polished, confident, elegant. My successful one. My responsible one. Or so I'd believed. Asterisk, she sat on the couch, crossed her legs, and smiled with practiced warmth. Asterisk, Daddy, Samuel and I found the most perfect house. We just need a little help with the down payment. $40,000. The way she said it like $40,000 was pocket change struck me deeper than I expected. Something was wrong. Wrong beneath the surface. Wrong in ways I couldn't yet see. Asterisk, and whatever lay waiting in those photographs. Asterisk, I had the sinking feeling it would explain everything. Asterisk, I left the house before Wendy woke up, avoiding her barrage of demands and Benjamin's entitled smirk. My drive to downtown Phoenix felt longer than usual, each red light amplifying the dread growing in my chest. Asterisk. Caroline's studio was tucked inside a refurbished warehouse, a place filled with glossy prints of laughing families and glowing brides, a contrast to the tightness gathering in my stomach. She met me at the door, nervous, apologetic. "Mr. Reynolds, thank you for coming. I struggled with whether to call you. But if I were in your place, I'd want to know." "Show me," I said. Her editing room was dim, except for the glow of a large monitor. She opened the first folder, ceremony highlights. Beautiful. Perfect. Exactly what I remembered. Then she opened another folder. 2 hours before the ceremony, she whispered asterisk, the screen filled with an image that knocked the breath out of me. Samuel, in his tuxedo, asterisk, pressed up against a red-haired woman, asterisk, her arms around him, asterisk, his hands gripping her like she was the one he belonged to. Not a greeting, not a mistake. Intimate, intentional. How long before the ceremony? My voice felt foreign. 2 hours. The timestamps. They're all here. She displayed the metadata dates, GPS coordinates, undeniable proof, more photos, different angles, clear faces. Then I saw it. A wedding ring on the woman's left hand, not Jacqueline's. My chest tightened. My pulse thudded in my ears. Asterisk that ring. "Do you know who she is?" Caroline shook her head. "I've checked the guest list. She wasn't there." She reached into a drawer and handed me a flash drive. All the images, all the data, everything. I pocketed the drive without a word. The drive home blurred. My mind raced through questions with no answers. Asterisk, why marry Jacqueline if he loved someone else? Asterisk, why go through an expensive ceremony? Asterisk, why? Accept gifts and checks and cash. Unless that was the point? Benjamin greeted me with a beer can, an entitlement. Wendy demanded spa money before I even reached my office. Asterisk, the house felt suffocating. Parasitic itch demand another piece of me being carved away. Asterisk, but later that evening, upstairs, a voice carried through the hallway. Wendy, on speakerphone, laughing. "Don't worry, sis. Dad's distracted. We can stretch this another 6 months until he buys us that condo." Jacqueline's voice was cold calculation. Perfect. I stay happily married 2 more months, then file. Half the wedding gifts are legally mine. Samuel agreed to 60/40ths. Wendy cackled, and Sam's red-haired girlfriend has no idea. My stomach dropped. It wasn't just Samuel. It wasn't just one betrayal. Both of my daughters were in on it. Asterisk planning. Using me. Treating me like a bank account. Asterisk in, they thought. I'd never hear. But I had, and everything inside me shifted. Asterisk that night. I opened my laptop and searched asterisk property lawyer Phoenix asset protection. Asterisk because I finally understood. I wasn't a father in this house. I was a wallet with legs. Asterisk, and that was going to change. Asterisk, asterisk. Mackenzie's office smelled of polished wood and certainty. Asterisk, the kind of place where decisions reshape lives. I arrived with a folder full of evidence photographs, timestamps, overheard conversations, financial records, proof of betrayal. He listened carefully as I laid everything out. When he finished reviewing the documents, he set down his pen and looked me squarely in the eye. Asterisk, Mr. Reynolds, your daughters have exploited you. Your soon-in-law, too. But you still have every legal tool needed to reclaim your life. Asterisk, for the first time in months, something inside me steadied. Asterisk, he drafted eviction notices for Wendy and Benjamin legal. Final, unavoidable. Then he proposed the fortress, an irrevocable trust. Asterisk, my home. My business, my assets protected forever. No loopholes. No manipulation. No inheritance for those who treated me like an ATM. I signed the first set of documents that day, and the next morning, I served the eviction papers myself. Wendy's face collapsed into shock. Benjamin puffed up, ready to threaten rage. Intimidate. You'll regret this, he spat. No, I said calmly. Asterisk, you've mistaken tolerance for weakness. That ends today. Asterisk, the following weeks were war emotional manipulation, manufactured illness, guilt trips, fake apologies, whispered schemes. Jacqueline even staged a family dinner, pretending concern while urging me to sell the house and share the profits. I didn't say much that night. I didn't have to. Asterisk after dinner. I laid the photographs on the table. Samuel, kissing the red-haired woman 2 hours before the wedding. Jacqueline froze. Wendy stopped. Breathing. Samuel's face drained white. Then, I delivered the final blow. Asterisk, I heard your divorce plan. The gift money split. The condo scheme. And the trust is already complete. Silence hit like a bomb. Wendy burst into tears. Benjamin cursed. Jacqueline hissed. You can't do this. I already have, I said. I walked out of my own dining room while they stood there stunned, their schemes collapsing around them. Asterisk 2 weeks later. The sheriff arrived to enforce the eviction. Wendy pleaded. Benjamin threatened. But in the end, they carried their things out in garbage bags, leaving behind the wreckage of their entitlement. Asterisk that night. The house was silent, not lonely. Free. Asterisk Jacqueline called days later. Furious. Asterisk, you destroyed this family. No, I said softly. I just stopped. Letting you destroy me. Asterisk, then came Samuel's message. Pathetic attempt to bribe me into staying quiet during the divorce. I blocked him. 3 weeks. Past. Asterisk, the house settled into peace. I learned guitar. I volunteered. Asterisk. I cooked for myself. Asterisk, my life slowly shifted back into something that felt like mine. Asterisk, one morning, on the terrace with fresh coffee and nothing but the desert breeze for company, my phone rang. Caroline, the photographer who unknowingly saved me. She hesitated. I just wanted to know how everything turned out. I looked out over Paradise Valley, my home, my freedom. Better than I expected, I said. Asterisk, for the first time in years. Asterisk, we agreed. Asterisk, asterisk. Thank you for